Word for the day, grind. Grind, they got to grind, they did. I mean, had some tough moments as far as, because the excitement of 2 days in the beginning is gone. Don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But now, like I tell them, now you start measuring football players. Who can play, everybody's banged, bruised, got a pull groin, got a hamstring, we got a shoulder, we got a knee, we got a twins. Now you find out who can still play while they're banged up, who can still process information, who can, be guys you can who's accountable and dependable. Right now, you start judging camp, to me. And we had some moments where they had to push them through today, but then they did some good things and pushed on. And we'll find out about our football team here in the next 5, 6, 8, 10 days right here, right now, to me.
Coach, how much do you have to lean on your assistants when a day like today kicks in, the lactic acid's there, and they need a little more push? We
always got to. I mean, that's what I say. That's your job as a coach. Sometimes if they don't have it, you got to bring it to them, and then you got to convey it to them that they got to bring it, and that's called coaching. It's fun to coach when you're ahead and you're fresh.
Was Zabri Sanders one of those guys who's got a little bang?
Yep, he had something with his groin or something. And they didn't think he'd be able to go, so we set him this morning. How
about Jermaine, Coach?
No, still.
Ooh.
Nope, not out there.
Still same issue, headache?
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm. They're saying, they've scanned him and all that, and everything's fine. It's just those things sometimes, and like I said, I've never been around too many people. I've been around one guy, take that back. I've been around one guy in my life where sometimes they'll linger like that, and all of a sudden they go away. But who was it?
Percy Harvin.
Yeah, that's right. They'll go weeks at a time sometimes like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Terrell Davis had him too, right?
Yeah, Terrell Davis would go like he had won Super Bowl one time real bad, and yeah, that'll happen. It's just something. But it's nothing life-threatening or anything like that, and we'll get him when we get him back.
Can you talk again about Mike Harris, a guy? It just seems like to a man, he has the respect of everyone on that defense.
Yeah, he's quiet, and he's smooth, and he's competitive, and play in the slot, play outside. Does everything he's got to do, play on the slot in the nickel, and he's just a very good football player. Very good football player.
You still coach a little bit with him in the same boat you were last year. Is he going to be able to get probably the amount of time on the field?
Oh, yeah, we'll rotate him. You got 3 really good ones. And I think some of those other guys, young guys, are going to be pretty good too. And that's good because, like I say, you say that, man, when you get in them 3 and 4 wide situations, you got to be able to put them in the game, and they play. You'd be shocked at how much they'll play. See, early last year, probably part of it was we was hesitant to put him in because remember he wasn't here almost summer. He had almost didn't get qualified because of some JUCO grade or there was something going on. I remember, so we didn't have much meeting time with him. And you know what I mean? He was trying to worry about all that stuff. So in camp, he missed. Even though he was here, he was having to do things behind the scenes, to get his grades in and do all that stuff. And but now he's been here, we can put him in a lot of different situations.
Do you think last year anybody had a higher percentage of big plays based on the amount of playing time they had than Mike had?
He would be up there. He'd be in that top 2 or 3, I would imagine. Big thing about big plays sometimes, the more you play them, sometimes the less they go down. Hey, who is Deion Sanders around here? And he's not. Hey, Monk had more interceptions than Deion, so we know better than that. That tells you they quit throwing at you after you keep making so many. You know what I mean?
Is Rashad Grant a guy who could play special teams? Could he play some kicks?
Rashad? Yeah, he could. He got great ball judgment. You know what I mean? I think he's got a bright future as a wideout. I ain't saying he couldn't help us this year as a wideout. I think he does some good things. Dropped a few balls today, but I think he's a tired freshman. And freshman, it's a little different animal on him right now. But I have very high hopes for him and think he can be an excellent footballer. And special teams, returning, covering, and playing on offense.
Coach, in his second year, what kind of potential does Christian Jones have this season?
Boy, there's a guy that we don't talk about a lot, but boy, he's a good football player. Can play in space for a big guy, can bend, and he's long too, so he's always getting his hands on the ball or tipping the ball or making you lob. Even if you don't get it, makes it miss because of his height and jumping ability, can blitz. We move him in the middle in some nickel situations too. He's cross-training inside. When you get those guys inside with those big athletes like that and they're long and coverage, and you can play man. And I think he can be an excellent football player. He doesn't get, for some reason we just don't talk about him a lot, but I do. I notice him a bunch. He's a pain in the offense's tail.
Do you need him to have a big year this season?
Oh yeah, you're daggone right. If he does, and you get that edge guy blitzing and doing things and athletic as he is, because he's a very good athlete in space, got great ball skills. Be a heck of a tight end. He'll move him on tight end.
As you're going forward, Jimbo, it almost looks like this ball club's got a chance to be really dominant on defense if the guys do this.
Oh, we got a chance. I agree. Got front guys. And everybody talked about linebackers being young. I wouldn't trade them for nobody. Those linebackers, I love our linebackers. I really do. I think there's some really good football players.
You wouldn't trade your DBs for anybody probably
no,
either.
we got good secondary people, can cover, can tackle. I mean, they need to be. That's when you're, listen, you're never a great team, you're great on defense. You're never great on defense as the guy that put their hands in the dirt. Are great. You know what I'm saying? And then you got corners. And then you go off everything else. Then when you add safeties and backers, which we got too, I think we can be. And got a lot of versatility. I love our personnel on defense. That's why I'm the only head coach in America that recruits more defensive players than he does offense. I mean, defense wins championships.
That doesn't go against your grain, is it?
No.
Offensive.
No, it doesn't at all. I don't. I mean, like a lot of guys don't give them the number. I do. And I'm going to tell them who they're going to get because I want big guys. I want big, I want physical, I want long, and they can run.
Coach, Vince Williams is a guy who got a ton of reps yesterday. So
Vince playing good. Vince is doing a really good job. I mean, him and Telvin in there, I mean, they're doing a really nice job. You know, Jeff Luck and Bradham at the other spot are doing really good. And then you got Terrence Smith and who's that guy, Christian Jones? He's a bad player, sits out there with him too. So he does all right. You know, you got that guy out there. So, I mean, those guys are they're all jumping out there and doing some really good things.
Vince and Telvin seem to have sort of contrasting styles. Is that by design of that Mike position?
Here's contrasting. See, here's the way I look at a Mike linebacker. He either makes tackles or he doesn't. It's fun to watch. They both make tackles. To me, they're a lot alike. Why are they contrasting styles? One runs better, one's bigger. I mean, we get so caught up in physical appearance sometimes. I mean, and you can protect a zillion guys inside with your tackles and your twist games and how they do things inside and the way you bunch things. You can make a Mike where he never has to take nothing on. I mean, you can scheme that up. And the thing about Mike, I want guys in there that can cover the pass and get isolated, but make tackles. You know, and they're both doing a good job making tackles. They're very instinctive.
You began with a statement saying this is the time you can start really judging.
Yeah, exactly right.
Particularly the new kids.
Old ones too.
Conditions, but you know a little more about the older ones.
Nah, you don't. I'm gonna tell you something. If you think you know, that's when you let them get soft. Listen, every time you play a game out there, what's the score? When you start the game, 0-0. They don't give you nothing. I don't know. What Michael Phelps say the other day? Asked him, you know, he'd won all them gold medals and he'd lost 5 races in a row or something. He come back the other day and won some I saw, but asked him, he said, "You're in a slump. Why are you in a slump?" He's defined a slump by this: when I quit doing what I used to do. In other words, I used to spend 70 hours in the pool, now I spend 30. So if you think you know a guy out here and all of a sudden he don't want to do what he did before, you don't know a guy. He's got to do the same thing every day. I don't care if he's a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. He's got to create that habit of who he is. And so to me, I think you find out more about the upperclassmen right now because are they content? Are they sitting on their laurels and know they've played? Or do they want to be great players? Great players don't sit on their laurels. Who they say is the greatest practice player ever around here?
Yeah.
Is he arguably the greatest player ever played here? Maybe, probably, yeah. And that hand and that thing may come every day. Maybe that's why he was the greatest player.
Any of the new kids have jumped out on that with you in terms of
new kids?
Yeah, being.
Nah, they're being there. Nobody just jumping out in front of anybody else. But there's quite a few of them I've been pleased with. Some mature guys.
What do you look for out of tomorrow? Scrimmage tomorrow, is that right?
Yeah. We'll evaluate a lot of guys.
Right.
I mean, we'll put a lot of guys in different positions, throw balls to them, run them, put them in defense, blitz them, make them cover. You say your offense wants to do good, your defense, you do. But you're more right now evaluating your team and where they're at and who can do what and who can handle being out there and, you know, not have a nursemaid beside them and get in the huddle and and make a play, not have to tell them what to do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be more interested in judging our players than I am if we're 20 for 20 or 8 for 20 or whatever it is. I mean, decision-making situations. You're not trying to script for success. And on defense, you say that, but they'll put themselves in tough situations too. You know what I'm saying? And how you play. So we got to evaluate personnel. Right. That's a big thing.